This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
Hi there, I'm Nohelani Graff with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Big one that we're going to be tracking: a new week of testimony in the Vallow Daybell trial and shocking new evidence presented by the prosecution. Here's Court TV's Chanley Painter with more from the trial in Idaho.
Good morning. Coming up, we are expecting another full day of prosecution witnesses as week 4 rolls on here in Boise, Idaho for the trial against Vallow Daybell. Yesterday, some big revelations coming out of this courthouse. First, the DNA expert for prosecutors was able to pinpoint Vallow's DNA on a hair found stuck to duct tape that was around Vallow's body as he was covered in a large black plastic bag. The defense tried to poke holes in the strength of that DNA match, but on redirect, prosecutors asked the expert, "Your statistic was 1 in 71 billion. What exactly does that mean?" The expert says, "That means if I were to stick my hand into a hat of DNA profiles, I would expect to see this profile 1 in 71 billion times." This piece of evidence resonated inside the courtroom, so much so that the grandparent of Vallow had this to say after court.
To me, of all the evidence that was given and presented and documented, Lori's hair to me was the single biggest got you moment.
The jury also heard yesterday from the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Tammy Daybell after her body was exhumed December 11th, 2019. He told the jury that, in his opinion, she died of asphyxia, being deprived of air, manner of death, homicide. He also showed the jury acute injuries he believed were consistent with someone being restrained, and he said there was no evidence of Tammy ever having seizure-like activities. He will return to the stand this morning for cross-examination by the defense. Reporting in Boise, Idaho, Chanley Painter, Court TV.
A new CDC report reveals Maricopa County saw the largest West Nile virus outbreak in the U.S. in 2021. Nearly 1,500 cases were reported and more than 100 people died between May and December of that year. To put that in perspective, in 2022, just last year, a little more than 1,000 cases of West Nile virus nationwide were reported to the CDC. The reason for the outbreak still not known, but experts believe it is connected to rain during that time period. So far this year, there have been 2 cases.
Really, the best prevention for West Nile virus is mosquito prevention. So making sure to apply that mosquito repellent whenever you're going outside, maybe wearing long sleeves and pants if you can in Arizona heat, and making sure there's no breeding grounds for mosquitoes in your own home.
Maricopa County sets about 800 mosquito traps every week. It hasn't changed much of its operations since that outbreak, but they are working to educate more people on how to fight the bite. Phoenix Mercury star Brittney Griner and her wife Sherelle attending the Met Gala last night, and didn't they look stunning? This year's theme revolves around late fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld, who is best known as the creative director for Chanel. So very classic look from both of them. The event benefiting the museum's Costume Institute.
Time for your most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. After a day of gusty winds on Monday, breezes will ease up a bit today, but we will still feel them pick up this afternoon. But sustained winds will be closer to about 10 to 15 miles an hour today in the valley, as opposed to the stronger winds that were gusting near 40 miles an hour yesterday in the Phoenix area. Not that strong today, but still breezy statewide. Then tomorrow, winds will crank up again, and tomorrow we've got another day of windy conditions across the state, and it's all happening as the storm system approaches from the west, but that's also bringing in some cooler air. So today's high temperature dropping another 5 degrees from where we were yesterday, down to 90 in Phoenix. Low to mid 80s for highs in western Arizona, and it's only 60s and 70s today for northern Arizona. So a cooler day ahead, and temperatures will keep falling. By Thursday, we're going to end up about 10 degrees cooler than today with a high of 80 degrees. There is a chance for some showers in northern Arizona by Thursday into Friday, but the valley looks dry at this point.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, you can head to ABC15.com. We're always updating, or download our free ABC 15 app. Make it a great day.
This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.